Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, my channel where I review my favorite retro video games of all time as well as some modern releases I have recently finished. The retro title that I want to look at today is Gunfright from the ZX Spectrum or from Rare Replay. Now, I quite like this game. It was kind of a hidden gem because you likely have never played this game. Even if you have the Rare Replay, I'm guessing you glanced right over it because this is one of the more obscure, older titles from Rare's catalog. This is from a different company before they were Rare. This is one of their older titles, but this is one of their more, I think, the better ones for the style itself. This is like a diagonal 3D-esque plane, something like Snake Rattle and Roll, where you have like the four directions that you can move, but they don't correspond directly to going up, down, left, and right. You're like almost at like a diamond here. It's very interesting how they move in these old games. Like pressing right technically sends you up, and then left is, yeah, it's really confusing, but once you get the hang of it, it's no big deal. This is one of the better ones for sure on the Rare Replay bundle. Some of the older titles just kind of suck, or they're not designed super duper well, or it's really unclear of what you're supposed to do. This character also has more than a passing resemblance to the Saber Wolf character. Just wanted to bring this up. I haven't been able to find any connection, but it looks like the model is very similar. I don't know if this is supposed to be a through line. I've seen this in a couple other games as well, where it looks like the same character exploring these different spots. I'll talk about that in another review when I do another one, because I am on a mission to actually complete every game in Rare Replay, get every single achievement for it, which is a bit of a daunting task. I've found I have completed several of them already. Some of them seem to be maybe a little more tedious or daunting. Some include stuff like, because they're Xbox 360, Xbox Live games, they have like online achievements, and I don't even know if I can access the online or if I need to get every single achievement from that original game to get the thing. Anyway, I'll keep you updated as that goes, but I do plan on getting every single achievement in all of these games so that I can complete Rare Replay all the way through. And I've been having a good time so far. My son really likes it as well, checking out these new games. But let's talk about Gunfright here. So you play as what I assume to be a sheriff in this town, and you're getting these wanted outlaws. You see the wanted poster up in the top left corner of the screen, and it shows you what you're looking for here, and it gives you a reward number. If you go around and you can shoot people, you have just these regular little goons around. These are apparently just innocent civilians. Didn't realize that. If you take them out, if it's not the target you're looking for, it actually penalizes you, and it shows you on the bottom of the screen how much everything costs. So each bullet costs a certain amount of money every time you fire. It's going to deplete your resources. At the beginning of the game, you shoot a bunch of money bags, and that gives you a lot of resources early on, which is really important. I didn't know this mechanic early on. I depleted my money. You can find money bags throughout, especially if you're low. I think is one of the mechanics of the game. If you get too low, they want to make sure you can still play the game. You can pick up money bags to supplement that, but every bullet costs money. Every foul shot, every errant shot against these people costs a lot of money there. If you pick up a horse that's on the ground, it looks like a little inflatable horse there. It's really, really funny. You can move a lot faster, but it does cost money to get them. There's an achievement tied to how many steps you take with the horse. There's other achievements for, I can't remember everything. I think there's one for just dying, if I'm not mistaken, getting all the outlaws and everything, shooting a certain amount of the money bags. There's 5 total. I can't remember exactly what they all are, but they're pretty basic. The last one I like fully completed was the money bag one. I beat everything else before that, and so then I just kept reloading a new, starting a new game and doing the starting money bag game. You get one after fighting each outlaw as well. Once you beat them, you get that mini game all over again, and the game ramps up between each reward. Each outlaw you take out, things will cost more. And like I said before, they actually vary. You'll see them on the board once a certain amount of time has passed. They'll like checker out and then give you a new total for how much each thing costs. As you get higher up in the game, things get really, really expensive. So it's really important to conserve your ammo and make sure you're shooting the right person. You can tell which one's the right person because they have a bigger frame. They've got like a gruff looking face, and you have some clues here. This is the nice thing. A lot of these old games, especially on the Rare Replay bundle, don't give you a whole lot of indicators of what to do. There's no clues, any waypoints to point you in the right direction to figure out the game in the first place. You essentially have to use a walkthrough to figure out a lot of these games. Gunfight is nice. I didn't have to do that because if you just walk around long enough, you'll see a little guy bouncing up and down and pointing in a certain direction. you just use your intuition, you follow that arrow, eventually you see, instead of one of the regular goons you see walking around, you see the burly looking guy that you know you need to shoot. Once you shoot them, you interact with them, you get like a little pause, a little music jingle to show that you have engaged in a fight with them, and then you'll do a duel. It'll say draw, you have to aim your reticle over the person fast enough to shoot them. If they even get one shot off on you, you are toast. You cannot knock them out, as far as I tried at least. I don't know if that's something unique to me. Maybe you can, but as far as I tried, every time I got one bullet in the glass, the rest followed and I wasn't able to take them out. So you have to get to you have to move the reticle fast enough to the outlaw that you're shooting and knock them out before they even get a single shot on you in order to do it. Now, this is where rare replay comes in clutch here, or if you're emulating it, save states are a must. This is one of the biggest complaints I had for this game. Every single time you start one of these duels, you have a random placement where they're going to go, and it is not set. If you use the rewind function and go back just enough, I think it's based on your movements on the analog stick for where the reticle's going, determines kind of how they move. It's completely random. Even if you rewind and don't go back past the frame where you start the duel itself, they might end up in a different spot. This can be advantageous in some areas where like they will walk to a spot, take a while to draw, and then they'll finally fire. Other times they'll move and start firing immediately. Like you'll have a split second to react. I had to rewind and it would like do a different spot, or they would do a different animation. They'd take a little bit longer. Sometimes it feels inevitable that you're going to lose the duel and you only have a few lives to work with. So sometimes it's just luck of the draw. Pun unintended there. But it's kind of BS there in that regard, because what if you just get a bad draw here and they take you out before you even have time to react? It doesn't have any consistency in that. As far as I was able to, I did some testing with it with the rewind function on like specific people to see if they had any like idea of when they were going to draw their weapon versus when they were moving. I couldn't figure out any rhyme or reason to it. It just seems completely randomized, and sometimes you just get hosed, and that's all there is to it. So that can be kind of a pain. But if you're playing this on the rare replay, which I highly recommend, because otherwise you have to emulate the ZX Spectrum or something like that, this is the best way to play it. Having the rewind function is so nice, because then you don't have to take the deaths every single time. It makes it much easier. You'll find random deaths throughout the world as well if you're just walking around. If you walk into a person or they like cross your path because they're typically faster than you, especially as you get higher up in the bounties, you'll just lose your life just out of nothing, which is really, really annoying. If you're on the horse, you can take them out for free, which is great. Or not for free, you still get penalized for it, but you can just run them over and take them out, which is really cool. As you get higher up as well, the bounties themselves might be riding horses. They might be really fast. It's much harder to pin them down. I like that added variety there. It makes the game feel less stagnant, because it is just a really simple gameplay loop. I devolved into like the starting area I got after getting a bounty. I would go up and then to the right, find a horse, because the horse always spawned in that spot, and then I would go to the right a little bit more, go directly down to the bottom right until I found one of the guys jumping up and down, and then I just pinpointed, figured out where they were, and took them out. It was kind of nice to see there was some variation in it, to see them be on horses, move faster, have the enemies move quicker as well. I guess just the random civilians is moving quicker as well. It made it much more of an interesting game, because like I said, the gameplay loop is pretty much just get a horse, go find the jumping guy, find the target, shoot him, duel, and then do the money bag mini game and start over. So it is fairly simple, but this is one of the better ones back in this catalog for sure. In terms of the quality of the gameplay itself, it's very well designed. I think they do a very good job of like dictating where the civilian guys are going, how the enemy guy moves. The duels can be a little bit janky, like I said before, but overall this package is competent. It's got good signposting. It does a good job of showing you what you're supposed to do, and you can figure out the rest on your own, which I think is really fantastic. A game that does that, I think, does a really good job of capturing your attention, making you want to play more, and I did. ultimately played this from start to finish in one sitting. Again, with the replay function, it's much better, makes it much easier to get all the targets, but I had a really good time. I think if you were just playing this straight up, trying to beat it without using rewinds or save states, you would be in for a very rough time. So I think it's nice on like having the ability to rewind. If you have that, this is a very fun play. You can beat it in like an hour or two, no big deal, and you'll have a good time the entire way through. I'm going to be giving Gunfright a silver rank. I think it's good across the board. I don't think it's anything super spectacular. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think it's a fun time. So if you have the rare replay and you've never checked this one out, go check it out. It might be worth your time. You might have a good amount of fun, and it might just be something you can get the achievements on, and maybe that'll inspire you to check out something else as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.